This is Chapter 15, Orbital Cataclysm, Part 2, from a story called The Time-Dilated Generations, by Esteban Gallardo. Even with the advanced thermal insulation of their spacesuits, they could feel their systems struggling to keep up with the rapidly falling temperatures. To conserve power, they had lowered their internal suit temperature from the usual 20 degrees Celsius down to 5, enough to prevent immediate hypothermia, but leaving them constantly cold. Their breath fogged up inside their helmets, their bodies working overtime to generate internal heat through constant motion. They were sweating despite the cold, but it was the only way to keep moving. The worst part? They had no choice but to stay in their suits. The sky was changing, shifting from the familiar crimson tones of eternal twilight to an eerie, deepening black. The stars, once faint against the perpetual glow of the atmosphere, now burned brighter, as if an audience had gathered to witness their desperate fight for survival. The humidity from the nearby water had crystallized into thin layers of ice, making every step treacherous. The metallic stairs leading to the landing spacecraft were coated in frost, turning each step into a battle against gravity and slick footing. But they couldn't stop. They were carrying one of the most critical components for their survival, a hydroponics filtration unit necessary to maintain oxygen and food production. It was heavy, a full 100 kilograms on Earth, but here, in Rigel 1's 1.3 g gravity, it weighed 130 kilograms. Carrying it was already an enormous challenge, but carrying it up a frozen staircase, that was a nightmare. Donna led the way, gripping the front of the heavy case, while Caleb and Albert supported the back. "One step at a time, on 3, okay?" Donna called out, breath heavy. "Got it," Caleb and Albert responded in unison. They counted together. 1, 2, 3. They lifted and climbed, fighting gravity and exhaustion. 5 more steps to go. 1, 2, 3. Now all 3 were on the slippery metallic stairs. 4 more steps to go. 1, 2, 3. Their arms shook, their breath burned. The weight, the cold, the exhaustion, it was relentless. 3 more steps to go. 1, 2, 3. Donna's voice was breaking under the strain. Caleb and Albert were breathless, their muscles on the verge of collapse. 2 more steps to go. Donna paused, trying to steady herself. Even though they were all in peak physical condition, they had been working for nearly 10 hours straight under extreme stress, limited oxygen, and brutal cold. They were reaching their limits. 1, 2, then disaster struck. The ice had settled on the case itself, forming a thin, invisible layer. Donna's numb fingers slipped from the handle. The filtration unit lurched to the side, throwing their entire balance off. She screamed, "Move away! I can't hold it!" Caleb shouted back instantly, "No! Nothing can happen to this case!" They all fought to regain control, pouring their last reserves of strength and keeping it steady. But it was too late. The filtration unit slipped. In a split-second decision, Caleb threw himself underneath it, choosing to sacrifice himself rather than let it break. The impact was brutal. The heavy case smashed against his leg with a sickening crack, a bone-shattering sound. Caleb's agonized scream cut through the freezing air, and then he collapsed into unconsciousness. "Caleb!" Donna and Albert rushed to lift the heavy case off him. It took every ounce of their remaining strength to pull him free. His leg was twisted at an unnatural angle, blood pooling inside his suit, but his vitals remained stable. "To the base, now!" Donna commanded. Carefully, they lifted Caleb's limp body and rushed him back inside. The moment they crossed into the infirmary, Teresa was already waiting, the medical instruments prepped. She and Donna worked quickly, removing Caleb's suit as carefully as possible. Every second felt like an eternity. Finally, Donna let out a breath, the tension momentarily easing. "His knee is shattered," she confirmed, "but his vitals are stable. He's out of immediate danger." Albert and Teresa exhaled in relief. "We need to perform surgery," Donna continued, already planning. "We can craft a prosthesis. It should restore most of his mobility, but for now, he's going to need rest." She quickly injected a dose of morphine, ensuring he wouldn't wake up in blinding pain. Then she turned back to Teresa. "Teresa, get a stretcher. Move him to the aircraft carrier. After that, join us. We still have more supplies to move." Teresa nodded, knowing there was no time to grieve, no time to slow down. Their time was running out, and if they didn't make it out in time, Caleb wouldn't be the only one fighting for his life. With Caleb unconscious in the aircraft carrier and time running out, Donna wasn't willing to take any more risks. This time, they used ropes to drag the heavy case up the icy stairs, eliminating the danger of lifting it manually. Ironically, the same ice that had nearly killed Caleb now worked in their favor, allowing the unit to slide effortlessly up the spacecraft door. The incident had shaken them all, and now, with their energy reserves nearly depleted, they couldn't afford any more mistakes. The timer they had set, 17 hours and 30 minutes ago, went off. A sharp beep filled their helmets, the final warning that they were at the limits of what their spacesuits could withstand. Donna turned to Teresa, her voice steady but urgent. Anything left to be loaded onto the carrier aircraft? Teresa checked her inventory list, scanning the remaining supplies. Just minor things, some extra backup batteries and another portable heating unit. Donna nodded, then turned to Albert. Go ahead. Take the hydroponics habitat and fly the aircraft carrier to our new location. Albert hesitated for only a second before nodding sharply. Copy that. Be careful, you two. As Albert climbed into the cockpit of the aircraft carrier, Donna and Teresa wasted no time gathering the last essential supplies. 20 minutes later, they had finally loaded everything into the landing spacecraft. They had been at this for nearly 18 hours straight. Their bodies were exhausted, their muscles aching, but they weren't dead yet. Teresa checked the temperature reading on her suit. Negative 140 degrees Celsius. Almost the limit of what their suits could handle. Donna exhaled, bracing herself, and turned towards the base's control panel. Activating the lockdown protocol, she watched as the lights flickered, dimmed, and then disappeared entirely. The base, their home for the last 4 years, was now a lifeless shell, swallowed by the dark, frozen abyss of Rigel 1's collapsing climate. Donna stood by the door for a moment, looking back one last time at the structure that had once been alive with warmth and purpose. Now it could just be another casualty of the planet's wrath. As she walked toward the landing spacecraft, Donna instinctively looked up, and what she saw made her breath hitch. 3 gas giants loomed massive in the sky, now clearly visible to the naked eye, their swirling storms and colored bands creating a spectacle of celestial power. They were so close to alignment, a few hours away from completing the perfect gravitational pull that had wrenched their world off balance. A thought crossed her mind, one that she had been avoiding since the crisis began. Could they really survive here? Even if they escaped this catastrophe, even if they built their colony again, would they ever truly be safe on a planet that lived under the constant threat of destruction by forces beyond their control? The thought sat heavy in her chest as she climbed into the landing spacecraft and sealed the hatch behind her. Whatever the future held, they only had one mission right now: survive the next few hours. That was part 2 of Chapter 15, Orbital Cataclysm, from a story called The Time-Dilated Generations, by Esteban Gallardo. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you again next time.